stop at red lights. Once you've seen one, you've seen them all. An old joke, but why should we wait if it's safe to go?
There's too many red lights in London, I think.
They're going to be red for an eternity. And green for like seconds.
Around 60-65% in light in London is really too long. So we're waiting too long for nothing.
They're a waste of time at traffic lights.
If pedestrians can cross the road when they judge it to be safe, why, the moment we're on wheels, do we become incompetent to judge, despite proof of proficiency in the form of a driving licence?
Who is the better judge of when it's safe to go? You and me at the time and the place, or remote lights programmed by an absent regulator? We complain about the traffic, but could it be traffic controls that are the problem? Is the needless jam in Transport for London's poster campaign really caused by the motorist, or by regulation that makes us wait even when it's safe to go? Rooted in a misreading of human psychology, traffic controls override common sense. They tell us we are incapable of intelligent judgment. They outlaw discretion, generate hostility, prevent us from going on opportunity, demand blind obedience. Time and again they interrupt our progress, often for no good reason.
All traffic lights are good for us.
I don't know, I suppose it takes longer for the journeys.
The only objective rationale for lights is safety, but by taking our eyes off the road, they often make matters worse.
That's not us talking. That's the world-famous Transport Research Laboratory talking.
I was riding down the road, and it was on the outside, indicating I was going to come.
Comes down and smacks my bloody car.
No, I picked away from
Oh, sorry, you kicked it.
because it was falling off. Traffic lights, most of the time the traffic lights, the way they work, they're inefficient, and you come up to a traffic light and then you think, well, I could go now, and if it was a give way rather than a traffic light, you could go.
Traffic lights are inefficient because they make us wait at red even when no one is using the green. What happens when controls are absent? Is there a breakdown of civilization as we know it? Hardly. When left to our own devices, we simply take it in turns. What could be more efficient as a form of junction control? The first in, first out single queuing system, or filter in turn, is instinctive, fair and safe. Free of vexatious rules, we approach slowly and filter naturally. If policymakers harnessed human nature instead of hampering it, they might find that most of our congestion and road rage problems would disappear. Instead of waiting for no reason, we can go on opportunity, which means shorter journey times and less damage to the environment.
If you take away the regulated world of signs, lines, markings, traffic signals, barriers and bollards, all of which are there to enforce regulation, we then start to think in ways that we do if you're simply walking down the street. So what shared space does is to exploit the natural skills of humans to negotiate movement, to resolve conflict, and to engage not only with each other but with their context.
Everyone's a winner, including pedestrians, who breathe cleaner air and are seen as fellow road users rather than obstacles in the way of the next time-consuming light.
Well, what if you just get rid of all the lights? Completely?
Well, it'd be better.
Yeah, it'd be better, yeah.
Well, I think it flows better without lights, personally, and everyone makes their way around, but...
Well, the traffic just flows a bit more freely, doesn't it? I mean, you just got to be a bit more careful on the junction, that's all.
In Dutch cities where lights have been scrapped, accidents have fallen by 30%.
Given the benefits of deregulation, what do our highly paid policymakers propose? Road charging. What about car czar Derek Turner in charge of decongesting our roads? Speed limiters. In other words, more expensive technology to hamper human nature and expand the control industry. The government's respect agenda must be a deliberate irony, because it shows contempt for our time, our money, our intelligence, our freedoms, our quality of life, and the planet. Every litre of fuel burned releases 2.3 kilograms of CO2 and other toxic gases. Multiply the minutes of enforced idling at mandatory lights and beside all-day bus lanes by the hours in the day and night, by the days in the year, by the number of vehicles, and it is clear that policymakers are responsible for environmental damage on an astronomical scale. The very cities that advocate use of public transport also make their high-polluting diesel buses wait at red. People blame drivers of 4x4s, but 4x4 emissions are a drop in the ocean compared with the avalanche of avoidable emissions produced by traffic controls. If deregulation had been tried and capacity exceeded, congestion charging might be justified. The Mayor claims success for the congestion charge, saying it has reduced traffic in central London. This is what has happened to that traffic. Journey times increase tenfold. The air is laden with toxins. Is that a success?
But it's all down to Ken Livingstone.
Is it? I mean,
Yes,
look
it
at
is. Yes, but it's Transport for London. The roads, Transport for London, the lights. He tells everyone what to do.
It's true.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah, I
So
know.
he's added to the congestion in London.
Now the Mayor is spending vast sums extending the zone, justifying his diktat by claiming it will shorten a typical journey by 5 minutes. What's the one thing above all others that reduces average speeds and increases journey times? Stopping. To reduce congestion and make a real impact on climate change, we need to scrap coercive measures and let humans regulate themselves. If we got rid of traffic controls and let human nature take its competent course, overnight we'd see a massive drop in journey times, fuel use and greenhouse gas emissions. By all means, introduce a program of re-education. Phase in the advanced driving test to raise standards and help drivers meet the challenge. Make it law to use the inside lane except when overtaking. But stop detaining us unnecessarily at lights. At the very least, discretionary lights that allow filtering on opportunity should replace mandatory lights that forbid it. People complain about cyclists ignoring lights, but most cyclists are simply going on opportunity, like pedestrians on wheels, which is what we all are and should all be able to do. Instead of being held in suspended animation by the totalitarian inflexibility of mandatory lights, all road users should be free to exercise intelligent discretion and go on opportunity.